Greetings, everyone. I'm going to give you 15 examples. If a man you're dating is guilty of, you should run. You should leave him. And I'm going to list them as red flags. And they might not be in any order. Just watch carefully. And if you find that the person that you're dating is guilty of 3 or more of these things, it's sufficient for you to say, I'm not going there. I'm going to run. So, red flag number 1, you just started dating him and he tells you he cannot live without you. Now, whether it's telling the truth or not, it's irrelevant. There's a certain desperation that is attached to this kind of statement, I can't live without you, or he's obsessed. Now, if he is neither obsessed or desperate, he is definitely deceiving you to put you at that comfort zone to make you think that he's really into you. So, red flag number 2, he's in a hurry to get intimate with you, even though you clearly state you want to take it slowly. He wants to cement the deal so he can either possess you or move on to another victim. Number 3, and red flag number 3, as soon as you become intimate, he's trying to get you pregnant. What is the urgency? There are men who, even though they know they don't want you, it's like burying that seed and getting to count it as a notch on his belt is something that some men will do. So, wanting you to carry his child doesn't mean that he loves you and even wants to stay with you. Number 4, in the first few weeks of talking, he calls you 10 times or more per day. But after the first entanglement or a few entanglements, he starts to blue tick you. That means that when you send him messages, it's clear that he reads them. You see that blue check mark, but he does not respond. He doesn't return your calls within 24 hours. Now we know there are times when things will happen and someone can get busy or there can be a family emergency and so on. But, when you eventually speak to him, there was no urgency and he doesn't return your calls promptly as he would in the beginning. Number 5, he never introduces you to friends or family after seeing him for 6 months, and even though he confessed to say, I love you. Men hardly ever say I love you, and women sometimes don't even notice that. Women will be the first to say I love you to a man, and oftentimes he will say, yeah, I know, but he won't return that. And so if you notice that the calls are lessened and he becomes more busy after your entanglements, then it's a blue red sign or red flag for you to leave him. Number 6, he'd start telling you about other women who are interested in him. It's his way of telling you he's keeping his options open. So there's really no reason for him to be telling you who is chasing him or who is pursuing him. So for him to tell you that, 1, he could be trying to say, I'm a very important catch. I am, I'm sought by other women. And so you better know how lucky you are. Number 7, he's always talking about himself. He asks you how you're doing, but if you start to answer him, he ends up telling you about himself. After dating him for a while, he still doesn't even know your middle name. He doesn't even know which school you went to or what kind of food you like or what are your pursuit or what are your goals for the future. Number 8, red flag number 8. He makes it his duty to tell you how important his mother is and that she's number 1 in his life. Now, while that is very important for a man to love his mother, the fact that he has to be telling you that she's number 1 is a clear sign that he could be a mama's boy and you cannot compete with anyone's mother, no matter how good you are. And so if he is not a mama's boy, He is someone who's trying to make you think that women are more important to him, and he's probably a narcissist. Number 9, when you are together, his phone is constantly ringing and he often mutes those calls. That could be an indication that there are other females in his life. Number 10, he only comes to your home and never invites you to his house. Always an excuse. Oh, it's not convenient. He has roommates. And in a lot of cases like this, men are married or they're living at home with their children's mom or another serious relationship. And so when he doesn't invite you, especially if you're a single mother, and he only comes to your home, you might think, oh, yes, it's the convenience of me still being at home with my children while I attempt to have some type of relationship. But a lot of predators who like to prey on single mothers will always find themselves at your home and they're not going to invite you to theirs. Red flag number 11. You start having financial problems as soon as you start dating him. And even in the dating stage where he invites you out, if he invites you out, something happens and he forgot his wallet at home, or, his credit card, he brought the wrong one. It's a clear sign that this person is probably a user, someone who wants to, use you to pay for him, and someone who's saying, I don't want it to cost me anything financially to spend time with you. Number 12, and red flag number 12, he's giving you details about his relationship with other women, especially intimate things or disparaging things. If a man starts telling you about his past relationship and continues to say negative things about the persons who he has dated in the past, I'd say run. Number 13, and red flag number 13, he tells you he's sick and he cannot come to see you, but will not let you take care of him, even if you offer to come to his home. And on the days he claims that he didn't take your calls or cannot call you because he's so sick, when you look at his social media platform, he's very active there. If you look in his WhatsApp, you see him online and other platforms that will allow you to see when someone is active. Number 14, when you're together, he constantly checks his email, his social media account, and pretends to be interested in what you're saying. So there are times when you're saying something or asking a question and you may say yes or no, and it's quite inappropriate. You can see that he's not hearing what you're saying. Or, if you call him out to say, did you hear me? And he says, oh, I just got distracted because of whatever excuses he give you. It's just an indication that he's not interested. When a man is interested in you, he holds on to your every word. He wants to hear everything you have to say. And if he doesn't understand, he's going to ask questions for clarity. And number 15, he doesn't want to meet your friends or family. Chances are he's married, or he's just not interested in you. He's not committed to getting to know you like that. And he doesn't want anyone that knows you to see you together with him. Women make a lot of mistakes and miss all of these signs. And, sometimes say, I don't know where things went wrong, when it was very clear from the very beginning. A man knows how to play these games, and they play it so well, and their interest in you seems so genuine. But when you look back, in hindsight, is always, 50-50. And you look back and you say, how could I have missed these red flags? How could I have missed this sign? And so you find yourself mixing it from one relationship to the next, and you're saying, I'm so bad lucky. But you're not bad lucky. You just need to spend more time to know somebody, to know yourself. And when you realize this is not working out, stop trying to hold on to a relationship that has nowhere to go. It's very clear that it's doomed from the very beginning. It's okay to start over. It's okay to say, well, this relationship is not giving me what I need, and so I'm not going to hold on to it and waste my time with someone who's probably plain or someone who is disturbed. Hopefully these 15 red flags or example of why you should take off when you meet individuals who behave these ways or demonstrate these kind of attitude, and that you move on feeling like at least, you know, I was sensible enough to recognize these signs and to know that the right person is coming.